Yo, what's poppin'? It's Tommathan, and the Overwatch League has spoken up and talked about Season Six's format, schedule, the teams involved, all that stuff in a 5-minute post, but it's kind of hard to understand by just watching it. I maybe watch it first, and then you have an idea of what I'm talking about, maybe, or don't, and I'll just explain it all. I don't care. All I know is I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to give my opinions on it at the end, and we'll see what goes on. So, starting off, first thing I want to talk about before the format, before anything, is the LA Valiant are competing in the West, as the Defiant said it, for Season 6. So I don't know what that means for the Valiant. First up, are they going to stay Chinese? Are they going Korean? Are they going Western? Are they going mixed? Who's running it? Just like immediate questions, because this is the exact opposite direction we saw the Valiant going. A lot of people were like, oh, maybe we'll get the Valiant going to officially stay in China, or maybe they decided that, you know what, China is looking kind of not great for Owl right now, so we will go back to LA, or I don't know what they decided. I don't know what's going on. It's curious. It's curious. I'm excited to see what they do from here. Because keeping the Valiant in LA makes sense to me, but I just didn't think it would happen because they had taken so many steps to move to China, it felt like. So yeah, bracket points that they're giving. The season split into two stages, the spring stage and the summer stages, and each of them end with a global tournament with the midseason madness in the spring stage and the grand finals and playoffs in the summer stage. Teams are still in West and East regions, with the East featuring a more open ecosystem that offers the opportunity for select contenders teams to qualify for and participate in Overwatch League play. So, that is right, the O2 Blast could win the midseason madness. That's all I'm saying. And that by itself brings a lot of questions, but I'll talk about that more whenever I get to it specifically, because I'm just like question mark emoji for some of this. So Overwatch League, the preseason, I guess you can call it, begins on March 23rd with a 3-week Pro-Am tournament in the West that showcases both Owl and Contenders teams. And then Overwatch League actual play in both regions is scheduled to begin on April 27th. So mark that date on your calendar, circle it, count down the days, put the X's, whatever you need to do. April 27th is when we get real matches that matter a lot for Owl Season 6, which is pretty good. That's about what I would expect. If you put it into May, like fully, like that time in May would be like way too long. So this is, about what I expect. It's whatever. It's nice that they're giving us a little bit of a teaser with the Pro-Am, but yeah. Also, league standings no longer determined by league points, but rather overall record in regional qualifiers. I do have some questions with that. But I'll talk about that more again later, I guess. And then we'll have more moments to engage in fans. Esports between major league events through Overwatch World Cup qualifiers and small tournaments during certain bye weeks. So yeah, whenever I open up the big schedule, which you can kind of see below me, they have some bye weeks thrown in there, which I think is good overall. The season was like very compressed, it felt like, and you need to give them some time for World Cup and all that stuff. I don't know what small tournaments means. No idea. Maybe there's just contenders tournaments for the teams that aren't in the actual Owl play. Maybe there's just fun stuff, calling all heroes things, something like that. I don't know. But bye weeks are good, I think. Especially because you just kind of need them for World Cup. Honestly, I'm surprised there's no large break for World Cup. I would have expected something like that, but whatever. And then the second half of the season will mirror the first in terms of format, ultimately culminating in playoffs and grand finals. More details to come later. So I'll let you guys examine the actual schedule. So as you can see, we start in the Pro-Ams for the West only in March. And what these Pro-Ams are, basically, is you have NA and EMEA, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa, in two different regions. And they both end up playing a Swiss stage with 256 teams of possibilities, which none of that will be worth watching because it could be like plat teams and you'll get teams just dumpstering other guys. Won't be worth looking at. Double elimination then comes around for the top 16 in each region, which would be worth looking at, I would expect, at least towards the end. Maybe I'll take a gander. And that is between March 5th and 12th, which is nice. And then you get top teams from the Swiss stage and select contenders teams from each region's 2022 Run It Back tournament will be invited to compete in Stage 2 of the qualifiers. Stage 2 of the qualifiers is the double elimination. So I don't know how many you're pulling out of Swiss. They didn't. Well, you're getting a 16-team double elim, and you're just letting some teams make it in for free. So I don't know. Maybe you're letting 4 in or something. Maybe the top 4 get in, and then you're letting the other guys duke it out. I'm not sure. Top 4 makes sense to me. Something like that, and then they can qualify. Now I don't know how many teams qualify. It doesn't say. It just says from stage 2, the top NA and EMEA teams will advance to the Pro League West. The advancing teams will face the West Region Owl team starting in the 24th, and there are 14 of them now. With the Valiants, I would expect maybe 6. I would anticipate 6 make it out. Then you have a nice 20. Sounds like a good number to me, but maybe less, maybe more. Maybe it's just top 2. Maybe it's just top 4. Top 4, top 6. I don't know, whatever it is. There will be a blog post for more stuff on it. And yeah, so we'll get some contenders from EUNA playing against the actual guys, the big guys, which will be like their like warm-up thing, their like feeling of the stages, which is cool. And this will be, when is it? It doesn't say. It doesn't say when the actual thing is. There is nothing. Sometime in March, I would guess. It'd have to be end of March, probably. If this one's the 12th, 5th to 12th, looking at the calendar briefly, I don't know. You're looking at maybe 18, 19, something like that. 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't know. But that means, long story short, what I'm trying to get at is the date matters because this is when you'll have some rosters actually for the NA guys. Because they have to actually field a team, I would assume, unless they just say, no, we don't want to. So we'll get New York, I guess. New York, Washington, the 2 big ones that haven't really said much yet. You'll also get finalized stuff with the Gladiators, the Outlaws, just all the guys. We'll know at least. Maybe they'll still add some stuff afterwards and things like that, but they'll have probably the core of their rosters, which is big. Gladiators, I guess, is probably the biggest one because they currently just have Kevster as their DPS. So whoever that other guy is pretty big. That's it for the Pro-Ams, which is just a fun little thing that I will be looking forward to because there's not been a lot of Pro Overwatch to watch. Then, next up, you have the Spring Stage format, which if I go back to this and make myself smaller, you see the bye in the middle, and then you have the 27th beginning for the qualifiers, I believe. And then so for the West, you just get your Owl guys doing their nice little round robin in the qualifiers, and that's that. Yeah, that's just for seeding, I believe. Nobody doesn't make it to knockouts. You can't get knocked out outside of the knockout. Makes sense. You can only get knocked out in knockouts. So just do a round robin, get some seedings over there, and then go to the knockouts. And then it's top 4, I believe, or it's top. Okay, how the West works is the top 2 in the qualifiers in the round robin get a bye past the knockouts, and then 2 more come from knockouts. And then for the East, you get things a little bit differently. You have teams competing in contenders to make it in the opens to the qualifiers so that you have, I don't know, probably 4 teams I would expect to come out of opens to the qualifiers. So you have 10-10 on both sides, probably. Maybe just 2. I don't really know how they want to do that because I say maybe just 2 because they haven't given us actual numbers, I believe. I don't see any numbers. I don't see any numbers here. Because only 2 come from the East. So the Mid-Season Madness tournament, the global tournament, is just 6 teams, which I personally feel is very underwhelming. I understand you have high-intensity knockouts, you have all this stuff, but if you want a global LAN tournament and you're only bringing 6 teams, I am underwhelmed. I'm underwhelmed. I go to the tournament and there are 6 teams there, I'm like, fuck. I think that is way too little, personally. Like, I said I would do opinions at the end. No, fuck it. I'm doing opinions throughout because my video. Fuck you. No, please subscribe. Please like this video. Please tell me your opinion in the comment section. I beg you. I beg of you. But yeah, I think 6 is just way too little. Let's say that there was another one in Toronto. There won't be, I would guess. Let's say there's another one in Toronto. I pull up to Toronto for 2 days, and I only see 6 teams. And I'm like, well, fuck. I saw more than that in a regional tournament. And I understand, oh, it's a regional tournament, so maybe it's easier or whatever, or some shit like that. I don't give a fuck. 6 is way too small. I would have much rather have seen 5 and 3. Even if it was 5 and 3, I wouldn't be making this claim. Because then you get 8 teams, and that at least feels better. I'm not asking to see half the teams in the league. But 6 is like, just like a quarter, basically. I don't know. I'm not too torn up about it. Like 6 teams is just not enough. That's my thoughts. I just don't think it's enough. But whatever. So yeah, if maybe I didn't talk enough about the opens. Basically, there are 12 teams that compete in spring stage opens, which is alongside the qualifiers. Oh, did I misspeak? I might have misspoke. It's alongside the qualifiers here. So the opens are at the same time as it, and then the top 4. I'm guessing from the opens. Maybe it doesn't say. It just says top teams will join them, and I'm assuming top 4. So that you get 10, and then they go through the knockouts. So these 2 are at the same time. My apologies, because I think I said that wasn't true last time, but these are at the same time. The top 4 from the opens or top 2 or whatever it is will go to knockouts, and then we'll fight it out there, and then 2 of teams will come out of these knockouts and go here. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. And then the thing is, because there's no contenders teams that can make it here for NA, that's why they're doing the Pro-Am, basically. So that NA and EU and Middle Eastern and African teams, I don't know if I can't name you an African Overwatch team. I'm sorry, I can't do it. But hey, there's that. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, that's it for the spring stage into the tournament. So O2 Blast could win the midseason madness. What I'm trying to say. Then you get the summer stage, and it says summer stage mirrors the spring stage format, with the West jumping directly into circuit play, right into the qualifiers. But the East select top finishers among contenders teams, and they will also go to the qualifiers. But not all of them will. There will be still opens. So I don't know if maybe the top 2 contenders teams probably stay, and then maybe these are for the final 2 spots, is what I would guess. Again, assuming 4 for the East, because that just makes sense. 4 contenders teams make it 10-10. Or 10... Well, I guess it's 10-14, not 10-10. But I'm still going to say that. Maybe it's 6. Maybe it's 6. It could be 6. I'll give you 6. Then you get 14-14, but what's the point? Yeah, and then that's about it. That's about it. My biggest question here is they talked about at the top of the video. They talked about the standings are determined by the record in regional qualifiers. Does that include? Whoops, I'm moving stuff that doesn't exist. Does that include? Right, hear me out. Whoops, I'm zooming in. Does that include the spring stage qualifiers to make it to the postseason? I would guess not, right? Or does it? Because here's the thing, right? Do these qualifiers impact getting to the postseason at all, or no? The way this looks to me is that it won't, but because they have postseason kind of split up here, I'm not sure. I'm guessing, this is not confirmed anywhere, but I'm guessing that the spring stage probably won't have an impact on the postseason. If I'm wrong, if someone has the answer, please let me know. I would love to know. But the way I'm reading it is the qualifiers basically just put you into to the postseason. Like the spring stage doesn't matter. And also how this reads, right? Let me get my face back. Is that you can win Overwatch League as a contenders team, right? There's nothing saying that you can't make playoffs, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested. I'm interested to see how this works out. So I had some other concerns. To me, this is kind of like a cop-out in a way, because it's like you are getting your contenders players. They're not going to be paid as much money as the Owl players. And they're basically just trying to fix your league for you. It doesn't have enough teams to do what it's trying to do. So to me, it feels like, well, they probably should be paid more, no? Because you're competing with Owl now, and you're getting paid less. And I guess you can say, oh, well, they are playing against Owl teams and making themselves better. They're getting better exposure. They're getting all that stuff. Yeah, but like at the end of the day, there's the top contenders teams in Korea will essentially just be Owl teams, but less budget. In the end, this season that might be good. If they do this again for another season, shit's gonna be fucked. I don't know. It's obviously good for contenders. It's obviously good for tier 2. This is better than not doing this, clearly. But it still feels a little... There's like something wrong going on here to me. I don't know. And I know they're doing this with COD League or something similar, but like, I don't care. So, something feels off. It feels a little off. But let me know if I'm full of baloney. Let me know if this is just like a bad take. Uh, Something about it just feels off, though. I can't tell you. But I'm hyped for this. This is interesting. I don't know how many teams are going to be in the postseason and the playoffs. I don't think they said anything. They just said it mirrors. It mirrors the spring stage format. Does that mean there's only going to be 6 teams in the playoffs? Is that what that means? Because if that's the case, that is not enough still. I would say that's not enough. I don't know. I'll be two. We're going from 4 tournaments to 2, and we're going from 6 teams in the tournaments. Maybe 6 teams and at least one of them, which is like way less tournament play. And yeah, the knockouts are, you can call it the tournament, but it's not. It's not the same. You're not going to get the high level guys really fighting for their tournament life and going over here. And we don't know, is this midseason match going to be double elim? I would assume. So, but maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm hyped for the season. I know I just ended it on kind of like, I don't know what's going on. I'm a little disappointed. I don't care. I'm still hyped for the season. This is still nice. I almost wish there was more tournaments instead of less. I think it would have been cooler to see you try and extend the season past October. Would have been nice. Because I don't think you need this long of an off season for a Overwatch esport, to be honest. I think if you expanded it, maybe 2 tournaments and a postseason, and then maybe the tournaments would let you qualify for the postseason by winning them or placing well in them or something like that. And I just want more. I just want more all-around gameplay, like year-round, instead of this. Well, it's not. It's almost year-round because you're going from March to October, but you're still leaving what, November, December, January, February. It's still like what, 5 months, 4 months. I was counting, but I wasn't actually. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling, so have yourself a good one. Like this video. Let me know your thoughts. Anything, any questions you have that I haven't thought about that I can't answer, especially the ones I can't answer. Please let me know. Please alert me. And have yourself a good one. Deuces.